Hello, it's Philip Taylor. I'm looking at the subject of costs today. I'm from Richmond Green Chambers in London, and I'm looking at this little pamphlet that's been produced by LexisNexis this morning. It's very flimsy, it's not very big. It only runs to 25 pages. It's actually part of the Lawyers' Costs and Fees series, part 1, Costs and Fees in Family Proceedings, the 30th edition, April 2014, and it's been written by A.K. Biggs. More of him in a minute. There are 3 in the series. You can see the other 3 listed, and I've done reviews of them. There's very little in this. It talks about costs in some detail in the family proceedings that you might be undertaking. It deals with both public law and private law, as you can see there. It's very useful for both counsel and solicitors, and also cost draftsmen. Those are some of the rates. It's a detailed document. Again, lots of tables for advocacy fees and so forth. Then the main fees in family proceedings, as they currently are today, running until the next financial year. Then you've got a whole load of other areas that are covered. And then towards the end, you've got specific areas. There are individual tables that are mentioned, depending on what specific action you are involved in. Then there are some general fees for certain areas, affidavits, the Court of Appeal, and so forth. Then you've got other matters concerning children, and right at the end you've got determination of costs and a whole range of other detailed information. And right at the end you've got a few other miscellaneous matters. Now, this is only a very small pamphlet, basically. You will know that there are pamphlets available in court. This one is one you buy. The court ones are available. I haven't found them the easiest to read. This actually has in one place everything connected with the new family court structure concerning family proceedings. We've written a review of this. It's called Costs and Fees in Family Proceedings. It's series 1. Now, what we've said is it's handy and compact, the best short statement for costs and fees in family matters, and that's what this deals with. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff on the market. LexisNexis produced the Cook on Costs book, which is a definitive statement. There are lots of different statements, but this is directly related to what you may well be doing when you're getting your bill together. Now, in the past, counsel were not that heavily involved in this area. We have become more involved in recent years, so it's useful to know about this, but it's very much for the solicitor and the cost draftsman. We say this, though, my wife and I have written this review. The subject of cost remains one of the most important aspects of risk for the client when considering contentious litigation. LexisNexis offer a comprehensive paper service in an easy, accessible, handy and compact format, which is an accurate current statement of costs and fees for all involved in the litigation process. There's this one, and then there are 2 others which I've reviewed separately, one dealing with probate and the other dealing with legal aid, and I've got different reviews for those. Of course, the court service, HM Courts and Tribunal Service, does print some short leaflets on fees which are sometimes available at the courts. The trouble is quite a lot of them don't have the stuff available, and you've got to queue up and ask if you're fortunate enough now to have a court office which is open. Obviously there are various websites as well, but this is a one-stop shop, and it does actually help when you're fiddling around with what you're trying to sort out. Also, it's helpful when you're trying to advise the client, because very much a hands-on experience having this series. What this pamphlet contains is current fee levels, which are often fixed at the beginning of each financial year. What LexisNexis do is publish 3 short but highly detailed booklets in April each year to cover the main areas, which they entitle the Lawyers' Costs and Fees series, and they're a must basically for the practitioner. As I've said, the 3 areas are family, probate and legal aid, and they're available from all law stationers, law booksellers, or direct from LexisNexis. There's also a subscription service for the revised editions for these readily accessible up-to-date statements of costs and fees, which are set out in a practical and convenient format for practitioners, cost draftsmen, advisors and litigants in person. In fact, I have had quite a few people who've decided, because of the money involved, to do the case themselves. So you can point them in the right direction as to what to do, and whether they're going to be able to follow some of the content is another matter, because I find some of this quite difficult myself, costs being a really tortuous area of practice for many. The first in the series, which is this one, covers family matters, and it's been compiled by Keith Biggs. Fees relating to family proceedings have now been consolidated in the Family Proceedings Fees Order 2008, with the establishment of one single family court structure, which came in April time, around about April 2014. It's been running for a few months now. I've been in the courts, and they work pretty well. I think we're feeling our way, but we know where we're going. The contents include the following in this publication: time for lodging and form of bill, costs of a litigant in person, payment of costs, allowances for witnesses, amount of costs, contents of bills of costs, costs of preparing the bill, scales of costs, matrimonial proceedings and prescribed family proceedings, and legal aid remuneration rates in family proceedings. There are then 3 tables with a comprehensive list of all fees payable in family proceedings with effect from the 22nd of April 2014, and the tables are clearly set out in the pamphlet. What we found to be of most value with this LexisNexis series is the coming together of all the relevant fees information in one place as a one-stop shop for fees in family proceedings, which will, I think, be of great assistance to the busy professional who hasn't got the time to go through the main practice books, queue up to get the leaflets, or even actually bother with some of the websites, which are not the easiest to navigate sometimes, frankly. I think it's an invaluable tool for all involved in the costs process, and it should be a priority purchase for all law firm libraries. I'm sure a lot of them already do have it. It's not very expensive, but you do have, there's table 3 which I mentioned, you can see the information there. Some of the other tables, table 1 is there, and then table 2 is down on the other side. That gives you some idea of the way in which certain things are calculated. One of the problems, I think, with a lot of this information is it really is very, very difficult to understand, and whatever the rights and wrongs of it, the fact is we do have what is effectively a really pretty antiquated system. May be critical about the system as a whole, but the fact of the matter is, unless you can agree some costs and you have the long drawn out fight, it can be a real problem. So I think this will alleviate some of it. You've got it as an easy to read one-stop shop, and I'm very grateful to all concerned for producing this new edition. As I say, it's April 2014. This one is the 30th edition. So thank you very much to all concerned at LexisNexis. Bye-bye.